We're in the back rooms. Look at this magnificent animal we got here. It's not even waxed. You can see me there. This is the quick side project that I'm going to be working on. This is my father-in-law's, mother-in-law's, I guess you could say. She really, I don't think she even likes this thing, but El Camino, it's an 84. It's got a 305 in it, and then I think it's got the, what was it, 200 R4 transmission or turbo 350? I don't know, I have to look at it. I think it's seeping coolant into the engine. So this thing is getting ripped out, and we're gonna do an LS swap in this. The Corvette's back there. The hood is actually on top of the Corvette itself. So it's back there just for a little bit. Everything that I need to get done on it is done because we're going in the interior now since everything in the engine's done. So this is gonna be a side project, and since the car's in good shape, doesn't need paint, doesn't need interior, you should see it inside of this thing. It is clean. I mean, this thing is fantastic. It even smells like the 80s, and I wasn't even, I mean, I was born in 89, so. The door, just I mean, it doesn't even close. You gotta really give her health. So, yeah, we're gonna put an LS in this. There is a 4.8 back here. This is a 99 4.8. It's got 240 some thousand on it. And I ain't kidding you. I have not done anything other than my father-in-law has washed the intake manifold and the valve covers since I gave it back to him. But I have not touched inside these things. This is 240 some thousand on it, and this is what the inside of these things look like, and it is incredible. I've never had a junkyard motor that's been this clean ever. And maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but we'll see. I mean, it turns out, I mean, you can turn it by hand with a wrench, but I mean, I don't even want to open it up. I don't even want to take the heads off, so we're just going to clean all that up, paint the block, clean the heads itself, get the valley area cleaned up, and get this together. Throw it in the car. We're going to reuse the stock transmission that's in this. So we'll get that set up the way it needs to be. And I did some quick measurements on this thing. I need to pull that shroud off, but the stock radiator that's in this seems to be the exact same dimensions as the S10 radiator that's in my Corvette. And if that's the case, that's awesome, because what we're gonna do then is we'll just get rid of the fan shroud, and when we put the LS in here, we'll put the Chrysler Sebring Dodge Stratus, yeah, Dodge Stratus fans in here, and we'll run that off the 2 relay setup that's in, like in my Corvette, because then both fans are on low and then they go on high, and they move a ton of air. So we'll be able to get rid of all this crap here, be able to get rid of that crap here, because the idea is we're gonna do a P59 drive-by-wire setup in this. And then this is, I think this has got a knockdown or a kickdown cable in it. And I think what we're gonna do is on the, I have it up there in a bunch of spare parts up there in a box. I'm going to actually hook, if that's the case, we're gonna hook the kickdown cable into the Silverado pedal itself. That way there's an actual linkage here, so I'll have to like weld a little nipple on there, and then that'll kick down the transmission up here, and we'll adjust that. But yeah, I think everything's good. I was gonna reuse the R4 compressor, but I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna eliminate that now, get rid of that, and then change that over to like a Satin system or a Satin compressor, and then have it mounted over here. And then we can shorten the lines up and run that here. And then I'll have my dad, who can actually refill and bleed the AC system, and we'll probably do that at some point. That'll be like one of the last things to do since it's not important. But this is, I think this is gonna be an easy swap. It's pretty straightforward. It's just to rip this thing out and then get the 4.8 cleaned up, throw it in here since it's good. I'll run it. I have tons of computers in the basement, and I have wiring harness that's like already halfway done and loomed, so we can get that in here and we can actually get fired. The idea, since these cars are carbureted, the gas tank, you can't see it, somewhere in here. The gas tank doesn't have a baffle in it because these obviously are carbureted cars. They don't have like the high pressure fuel pumps in them. So I think what we're gonna do is I'll take that out. I'm gonna modify the pump assembly and get the pump in there. I have a couple in here, just like 255 stock ones that come out of like, you know, Camaros and stuff. Or aftermarket ones that you get like at AutoZone or whatever. So we'll throw that in there, and then what we'll do is I'm gonna do like the Holley Hydromat. I think is it called Hydromat? I think so. That will be at the bottom of the tank, so we don't have to run a baffle. And we'll put that in there, and then we'll run an AN or 6AN line all the way up here, and I'll put a Corvette regulator in the back, and then we can have that, because this is just gonna be naturally aspirated. And then I have a 04 LM4, an 2004 LM4 camshaft, one of the later ones that we'll throw in the 4.8, because I guess the 99 4.8s, they're 255 horsepower. They have like a one-off cam in them, supposedly. I had someone on the Sloppy Discord server find that info out for me. I guess they're just a one-off cam. They're like literally the most basic low lift, short duration cam that are in these things. So when you throw a later camshaft in it, you actually get your like 285, 295, whatever horsepower this. So we're gonna go with that, and then we're also going to do the electric fan. So I'm guessing this thing will probably, and after, you know, tuning the PCM a little bit, this will be a 300 plus crank horsepower engine. This thing, I guarantee, is probably not even making 150 at the crank. So we're pretty much doubling the horsepower in this, and fuel injection, so better gas mileage, drive-by-wire, cruise control through the TAC module, fun stuff. So this will actually be a pretty fun build. This is what I'm gonna do. I assume this is only gonna take a few weeks to do. I gotta order some parts and get that done, and then I'll update on this. The Corvette will still be, we're still doing it. Don't worry, just calm down now. It's still the thing, it's done. The hard part's done. So I need to get the main hoop bent on that, and then we can start doing the 6-point in that. So once I do that, we can get this done, we'll move back onto the Corvette. So this is kind of like a little filler, as you could say. So if you guys have any questions on this, let me know. If you guys have any tips on these swaps, let me know. But we're gonna go off from there. So you guys have a good day. Bye.